What was your favorite supernatural feat as the Undertaker?
I think probably for me was the being able to, there's a tie, I guess, between being able to appear in an empty casket. I always thought that was extremely cool. And then being able to survive being buried alive. I think those two things really stand out as far as the mystique and the lore of The Undertaker. And I think the caskets especially. We did some really, really cool things with the caskets and caskets being opened and them nothing being in the casket to the next time it's open, there I am, and being able to do those kind of things. I always thought that, like, man, those were such important nuggets for the character to be able to appear in places and disappear and do all those things. And I just think it was such a vital part of obviously the mystique of The Undertaker. It's like, wow, man, this guy can show up and do different things. And throwing lightning was pretty cool too. I mean, that's not everybody can throw lightning. That's that's a gift. Like I don't know if I could still throw it, but kind of rusty there. But that was cool as well.
What was your favorite moment from the Ministry of Darkness?
The ministry, that was a lot of fun. Like we really, really got to push the envelope with the ministry, with the symbolism and all of the innuendo and everything else. We got more flack too during that ministry period, but it was just the darkness of all of that and putting people up on the symbol, which who my goodness, I put Stephanie. You know, what a difference what a change that would have been if I'd actually married Stephanie. I mean, I'm sure like I would have probably kicked her to the curb by now, but she's gonna appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, that was some really really cool stuff that we did, and the sacrifices and the overall darkness of it really pushed a lot of people's buttons. Where that original version of the Undertaker was like, oh, that's kind of spooky and that's different. But man, the ministry kind of it made people feel things that like, oh, this dude's like, this dude really is demented and like he's messed up. Like, and it made it work. And I don't know that we could do today what we did back then as far as content I mean, people would absolutely lose their freaking minds, I think, in this day and age, but it was fun while it lasted.
Was there any creative from the Ministry of Darkness period that was shot down?
Well, I mean, I really did want to sacrifice Midian. Um, I mean, I thought that would have been really cool to watch on TV, but yeah, they shut me down on that one. Said it was a little bit too extreme. I was like, man, but think of the ratings. You think? It wasn't so much. No, it wasn't so much. Back then, pretty much everything that I pitched for that, we went with. Obviously, the part that I didn't like, and I've complained about many times, was when the ministry went corporate. That's when I thought it went. It watered it down and made it too wrestling. Then, like I think we had something that was really edgy and again made people think and made people feel a certain way, and then when it became the corporate ministry, it was just like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah, it sucked. It really did. I hated it, but what you gonna do, man? You got to roll with the flow and come up with something else, and get out of that and move on. But the ministry, yeah, that was a good time. Good times.
Which opponent brought out the absolute best in you?
There's a lot of guys that I had some really, really incredible chemistry with, but to actually bring it out of me in the ring and like to a point where I knew that I had to be sharp and could go, it's either got to be Shawn Michaels or Kurt Angle. My chemistry with Shawn was just second to none. We were on such the same wavelength, the way we put matches together and all of that. We were so dialed in. And then Kurt was just a machine, man. Man, he could freaking go. You had to be able to go just to keep up with him. I think we had a match, I think it was in 2000, No Way Out in 2006. Man, such a incredible match. One of the matches like I'm very like most proud of. And man, it was fast paced, which again, like I like to work up to a fast pace, but with Kurt, man, it was just like right from bell to bell, man. It was just go time. But he was so good in the ring. But yeah, it'd have to be Sean or Kurt for sure.